Welcome children. Today I am dealing with some numericals on electricity. First one, a current of 0.5 ampere is drawn by a filament of an electric bulb for 10 minutes. Find the amount of electric charge that flows through the circuit. So it is given current. So current is given here and time is also given as 10 minutes. So we have to find the amount of electric charge. That means we have to find the charge. So first of all, you have to write the data. So whatever data are given here, you have to write here. So first one, current of 0.5 ampere. So current symbol is I. So I equals how much here? 0.5 ampere. So ampere is the unit of current. Then for how many minutes? So 10 minutes. So time is given as 10 minutes. But we know that the SI unit, standard unit of time is seconds. So we have to convert this time into which one? Seconds. So 1 minute equals how much seconds? 60 seconds. So what we are doing is we have to multiply by 60. So 10 into 60. So it becomes 600 seconds. 600 seconds. So current is given here and it flows for a time how much? 600 seconds. Then we have to find which one? Find the amount of electric charge that flows through the circuit. So electric charge symbol is Q. So we have to find a Q. So first of all you have to relate these three quantities. So what are the quantities given here? Current, time and charge. So we know that current I equals charge by time. So charge flowing per unit time is called as current. So from here what we have to find out? Charge Q. So this time cross multiplying. So we will be getting Q equals I into T. Current into time. So that is equivalent to what is current here? 0.5 into what is the time? 600. So 5 into 6 is 30. Then again how many zeros? 2 zeros are here. But decimal, after decimal 1 digit. So I can put a decimal here. So I will be getting as how much here? 300. So charge, what is the unit? Coulomb. So 300 coulomb. So this is the charge flowing through the circuit. So it is given current as well as time. So current and time is given. How will you find charge? Q equals current into time. So charge, current into time will give which one? Charge. So final answer is how much? 300 coulomb. Okay. Second problem. Calculate the number of electrons constituting 1 coulomb of charge. So if this question is asked only for 1 mark, so you can simply write the number of electrons. So what is the number of electrons constituting 1 coulomb of charge? 6 into 10 raised to 18 electrons. So this charge of 6 into 10 raised to 18 electrons constitute which one? 1 coulomb. So 1 coulomb is equal to the charge of 6 into 10 raised to 18 electrons. But if it is asked for 2 marks, you have to find out. So how we are getting this answer, we have to find out. Okay. So here, so we have to find which one? Number of electrons. So number of electrons we have to find out. So which constitute how much coulomb of charge? 1 coulomb of charge. That means charge is given as how much here? 1 coulomb. So charge is given as 1 coulomb. And we know that according to condensation of charge. So we studied the properties of charges. So in that we studied condensation of charge. That means charge on any body can be written as the integral multiple of charge of electron. That means we can write this Q equals N into E. N is the number of electrons and E represents the charge of electron and Q represents the charge. Okay. So here Q is given as how much? 1 coulomb. We have to find which one? N, and E represents which one? Charge of electron. So E represents charge of electron and this is the basic charge. So charge of electron is which one? Is called as the basic charge. Basic charge. And this value you have to by heart. So E value is how much? Charge of electron is given as 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So this is the charge of 1 electron. Okay. So E value we know 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Then Q we know how much? 1 coulomb. So from that what we can find out? N. So we have Q equals Ne. So from this what we can find N. So N equals Q by E. So Q is how much here? 1. 1 divided by what is charge here? 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. That is equivalent to, I am removing the decimal. So I can multiply by 10 in the numerator. That becomes 10 by 16 into this 10 raised to minus 19 I am taking in the numerator. So it becomes 10 raised to plus 19. Okay. that is equivalent to, so now we can cancel with the 2 here, so 5 2s are 10, so here 8, so 5 by 8. So when I am dividing 5 and 8, so I am getting nearly 0.62. So when you are dividing 5 and 8, I am getting as 0.62 into how much? 10 raised to 90. But I am taking this one decimal to the right side. That means 6.2. So I can write as 6.2 into. So when I am taking 6.2, so into one more 10 raised to minus 1 will come. Okay, 6.2 into 10 raised to minus 1 into 10 raised to 90. That becomes how much? 10 raised to 18. So 6.2 into 10 raised to 18. And the 6.2 approximately we can write as which one? 6. So 6 into 10 raised to 18 electrons, because we are finding which one number. So this number will not come in which one? Decimal. So we are taking approximate values how much? 6. So 6 into 10 raised to 18 electrons constitute how much coulomb? 1 coulomb of charge. Third problem. How much work is done in moving a charge of 2 coulomb across 2 points having a potential difference of 12 volt. So charge is given as 2 coulomb and potential difference between the 2 points is given as 12 volt, and we have to find how much work is done in moving this charge from one point to another point. Okay. So what are the data given? We can write first. So first of all, a charge of 2 coulomb. That means charge is given. Charge symbol is Q. So Q equals how much here? 2 coulomb. And potential difference is given as how much? 12 volt. So potential difference symbol is V. So V equals 12 volt. And what we have to find out? We have to find the work done. Okay. So work done we have to find out. So we know the formula for potential difference. So potential difference V equals work done per unit charge. So potential difference between 2 points is defined as the work done to bring a unit charge from one point to another point. That means work done per unit charge. So that is a formula for potential difference. So here what we have to find out? Work done we have to find out. So from here we can cross multiply. So we will be getting W equals V into Q. V into Q. That means what is V here? 12 into Q is 2. So 12 into 2 is how much? 24. And what we found out now? Work done. So work done means it is actually energy only. So work done and energy have same unit. So what is the unit of work done? Joules. So 24 joule. So whatever work done is converting into energy. That means work done and energy both are having same unit. Which one? Joule. Fourth problem. How much energy is given to each coulomb of charge passing through a 6 volt battery? So we have to find out energy. So energy means work done. So work done is equivalent to energy. So we have to find energy here. So what are the data given here? So energy, how much energy is given to each coulomb of charge? That means what is the charge here? Each coulomb means 1 coulomb. So charge equals 1 coulomb, and potential difference is given as, potential difference symbol is V. So V is given as 6 volt, and we have to find energy. So energy means it is equivalent to which one? Work done. So both are same. So we have to find work done. So we know the formula for potential difference. Potential difference V equals work done per unit charge. Okay. So from his what we have to find out? Work done. So W equals V into Q. That is equivalent to what is V here? 6 into charge is 1. That means 6 joule. So work done is 6 joule. That means energy is also how much? 6 joule. So 6 joule is the energy given to each coulomb of charge. Fifth problem. How much current will an electric bulb draw from a 220 volt source? So potential difference is given here as 220 volt. If the resistance of the bulb filament is 1200 ohm. So resistance is given as well as potential difference is given. We have to find which one? Current. So we can use which formula here? Ohm's law formula. That is V equals I into R. From that I equals V by R. So using the formula Ohm's law, we can find which one? Current. In the second case also we have to find which one? Current through a electric heater coil. Here potential difference is same only 220 volt. But what about resistance? 100 ohm. Okay. So again here we have to find which one? Current. So formula is I equals V by R. So in the first case, first part, so what is the potential difference? 220 ohm. So V equals 220 volt. Potential difference symbol is V. Then resistance is given as how much? 1200. So R equals 1200 ohm. and we have to find which quantity? Current. So I equals V by R. That is equivalent to 220 divided by 1200. So we can cancel 0, 0. Then dividing by 2, 11 by 60. So either you can write 11 by 60, what is the unit? Ampere. Or when you are dividing, you will be getting 0.18. So 0.18 ampere. So if you are writing 11 by 60 ampere also, it is okay. So you will be getting the marks. So otherwise we can convert into decimal, 0.18 ampere. So unit is very, very important. So always you have to put the unit. So unit of current is which one? Ampere. Then about the second part. So in second part, so potential difference is 220 volt. So V equals 220 volt. And what is the resistance here? R equals 100 ohm. And here also we have to find current. So formula is I equals V by R. That means 220 divided by 100. Okay, so dividing by 100 means we can move to decimal to the left side. That means we'll be getting us how much? 2.2 ampere. So this is the current in the second case. Sixth problem. The potential difference between the terminals of an electric heater is 60 volt. So potential difference is given as 60 volt. So when it draws a current of 4 ampere, so current is given as 4 ampere. So resistance is not given here. So potential difference is given, current is given, and using these two data, what we can find out? We can find resistance. Then they are asking what current will the heater draw if the potential difference is increased to 120 volt. Suppose potential difference is increasing from 60 volt to 120 volt. So at that time, what current will this heater draw? That we have to find out. Okay. So using the first data, what we can find out? We can find resistance, because potential difference as well as current is given. So using that data, what we can find out? We can find a resistance. So potential difference is given as how much here? V equals 60 volt. Then current is given as 4 ampere. So I equals 4 ampere. And using this V and I, what we can find out? We can find resistance using which one? Ohm's law. So we have the Ohm's law, V equals I into R. So from this, how will you find R? R equals V by I. V by I, that is equivalent to V is how much here? 60 divided by 4. So cancelling. So you'll be getting 15. So 15 ohm is the resistance. So we found out which one now? Resistance. Resistance is given as how much here? 15 ohm. Then in the second part, what they are asking? Potential difference now it is increased to how much? 120 volt. So potential difference V is given as how much? 120 volt. Then what is the resistance? Already we found out now. So R equals 15 ohm. Resistance is 15 ohm. Using these two data, what we have to find out? We have to find the current. Okay. So I equals, formula is V by R. So I equals V by R. That is equivalent to what is V here? 120 divided by 15. So 24 by 3 will be getting 8. So 8 ampere. So 8 ampere is the current drawn by this heater when potential difference is increased to how much? 120 volt. Seventh problem. When a 12 volt battery is connected across an unknown resistor, there is a current of 2.5 milliampere in the circuit. So current is given as 2.5 milliampere. So potential difference is given as 12 volt. And we have to find the resistance of the resistor. So same formula, Ohm's law. So V equals I into R. So from that what we have to find out? R. So R equals V by I. Okay. So first we can write the data. So potential difference is given as how much here? 12 volt. So potential difference symbol is V. So V equals 12 volt. Then what else is given? Current. Current is given as 2.5 milliampere. The small letter M indicates milliampere. So I equals 2.5 milliampere. And how will you convert milliampere into ampere? Into 10 raised to minus 3. That means dividing by 1000, or you can multiply by 10 raised to minus 3. That means we can write as 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 3. Dividing by 1000 or into 10 raised to minus 3. This much ampere. Because ampere is the SI unit of current. So we have to convert all other units into which one? ampere. Okay. Now what we have to find out? Resistance. So resistance formula R equals V by I. That is from Ohm's law. Ohm's law, V equals I into R. So from that R equals V by I. That is equivalent to V is how much here? 12 divided by current is 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 3. So first of all we have to remove the decimal. So here denominator we have after decimal 1 digit. That means we can multiply by 10 in the numerator. That means when you are multiplying by 10, you will be getting 120 divided by this decimal will go. So 25 into this 10 raised to minus 3 I am taking in the numerator. So it becomes 10 raised to plus 3. Now we can cancel with 5. So 24 by 5. So 4.8. So we'll be getting 4.8 into 10 raised to 3. What is the unit of resistance? Ohm. So we are using the formula R equals V by I. That is Ohm's law formula. Eighth problem. The values of current I flowing in a given resistor for the corresponding values of potential difference V across the resistor are given below. That means potential difference values as well as current values are given here. So we have to plot a graph connecting this V and I. The values are given here and we have to plot a graph connecting V and I, and also we have to calculate the resistance of this particular resistor. Okay. So some days they will be asking to draw a rough graph. So what is the shape of which one? VI graph in the case of Ohm's law. Okay. So what is the shape of VI graph? So whenever we are drawing a VI graph means potential difference current graph. This current normally we are taking which direction? X axis, and this potential difference we are taking Y axis. And whenever we are drawing a graph connecting V and I, the graph will be a straight line inclined to which one? X axis. The graph will be always which one? A straight line. The reason is we know that according to Ohm's law, V is proportional to I. That means whenever current is increasing, potential difference also will increase. Whenever current is decreasing, potential difference also will be decreasing. So both are proportional. So the graph will be always say which one? Straight line graph. So suppose they are asking to just mention the shape means you can simply draw this diagram. But here they are giving the values. So whenever they are giving the values means you have to put the values and you have to draw the graph. Okay. So first of all, so we have to find which one also, resistance also we have to find. So what is the formula for resistance? R equals V by I. V by I. So I and V it is given here. So we can find which one now? R. So R equals, what is the formula? V by I. For each values we have to find which one? Resistance. So first one, which one? 1.6 divided by 0.5. So 1.6 divided by 0.5. So we can remove the decimal. So here 16 by 5 because we are multiplying by 10 as well as here we are dividing by 10. So 16 by 5. So we are dividing 16 and 5. 3.2. So I am getting 3.2. So first one is resistance is how much? 3.2. So here current is given in which unit? Ampere. So you have to put ampere in the bracket. And potential difference, what is the unit? Volt. Volt. And resistance, what is the unit? Ohm. So ohm is there. So first value is how much? 3.2 ohm. Then second one it is given us, so 1 is the current and 3.4 is the potential difference. So R equals V by 8. So 3.4 divided by 1. That means what is the value? 3.4 itself. So second one is 3.4. Then again third one. So V is how much? 6.7 divided by 2.0. So I am removing the decimal. So you can write as 67 by 20. Because the numerator also after decimal only one digit. Denominator also after decimal only one digit. So we can multiply as well as divide by 10. So they will be cancelling each other. Then dividing means you will be getting 67, 20. 3.3. So you are getting 3.3 here. 3.3. So third value is 3.3. Now fourth one again. What is potential difference? 10.2. Divided by what is the current? 3.0. So I am removing the decimal. So multiply and divide by 10. So 102 divided by 30. 51 by 15. So 3.4. So 3.4 here. Okay. Now last one. So V by I 13.2 divided by 4.0. 13.2 divided by 4.0. So here also we can multiply and divide by 10. So the decimal will be going. So 132 by 40 divided by 2. So again we can divide by 2. So 3.3. 33 by 10 means 3.3. So now we got the values for which one? Resistance. So we have the values of potential difference and current, and by using the values for potential difference and current we are finding which one? Resistance. So here see here all these resistance values are constant. 3.2, 3.4, 3.3, 3.4 again 3.3. So that only we are saying V is proportional to, in Ohm's law we are saying V proportional to I, or we can say V equals R into I. So here R is considered as a constant. So see here resistance is constant here. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to draw a graph connecting V and I. So whenever we are drawing VI graph, so VI graph, current we are taking which direction? X direction. Current is taken along X direction. Current unit is ampere. Then potential difference unit is V, volt, taken along Y direction. Then 0. Then current values. What are the current values here? So current is given as 0.5. So 0. I am taking from 1 to. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. And potential difference till 13.2 we need. That means I am taking is 1, 2 like that. So 1, so we have up to 13.2. Okay. So up to 14 we have to write here. So up to 14. Okay. So potential difference we have taken the values till 13, till 14 I have taken, because we have values up to which one? 13.2. But current values up to 4 only. So I have taken here 1, 2 like that, 6 I have taken here. Now in the first case, when the current is 0.5, so what about potential difference? 1.6. So 0.5, 1.6, somewhere here it will come. Okay. So if it's scale and all, you can do it properly now. So like that. Then similarly second one, what is the potential difference? So current is 1 and potential difference is 3.4. So 1 and 3.4, somewhere here it will come. Okay. Again for third one, so current is 2 and potential difference is 6.7. So 2 and 6.7. Somewhere here it will come. Okay. Again when current is 3, what about potential difference? 10.2. So 3 and 10.2. Somewhere here we will be getting. Then again when current is 4, what about potential difference? 13.2. So when current is 4, 13.2, somewhere here it will come. Okay. So when you are joining all these things, you should get a straight line. So here roughly I have drawn, but anyway we should get which one? A straight line graph. So the graph should be a straight line, because we know that potential difference is directly proportional to which one? Current values. So this graph will be always a straight line, and this V by I should be a constant. So V by I means which one? R equals R, and this R should be a constant. So see here from these values itself we can identify this R is a constant, because 3.2, 3.4, 3.3, 3.4 again 3.3. That means these values are nearby only, so that means constant. Okay. So this graph for which one? VI or Ohm's law. So always For Ohm's law, the graph will be a straight line graph inclined to which one? This x-axis.